Hi and welcome to episode 104 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law. I'm the founder of This Reportage and This Reportage Family, and I'm a photographer too. Such a pleasure to chat to the fab Ana Backhaus for the podcast today. Originally from Portugal and now living in Dubai, Ana was ranked 25th in the world on This Reportage Family for 2021 with 6 Reportage Family Awards and a Family Story Award won in the year. We talk about one of her original awards in the episode today, as well as many other things, including her documentary family workflow and approach from enquiry to delivery, quite a few questions about her previous career as a flight attendant, why the lack of control in documentary is so exhilarating, our Netflix synopsis game, why it's so important to be resilient, social media and self-sabotage, and much more. Hey Anna, how are you doing? I can't.
I'm fine. You're amazing, Alan.
How can I even get the first few words wrong? Oh, I'll have to keep that in. Hey Anna, how are you doing? How are you?
I'm very good, Alan. Thank you so much.
Oh, good to hear. Thank you for joining me on here. It's awesome to talk to you. So, because you're in Dubai at the moment, are you?
Yes, I am in Dubai, and thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really happy for your invitation to be here.
Oh, thank you for coming on. It's awesome to talk to you. Yeah, so you're in Dubai. You're based in Dubai, and you've lived there for quite a long time now.
Yeah, I live here in July, 10 years. Yeah,
oh, wow, 10
this
years.
year, 10 years in July. Yes.
And you're originally from Portugal, is that right? From Lisbon?
Yes, originally I'm from Lisbon, born and raised, and came here already a while ago.
Okay,
changed my life.
Oh, I'm looking forward to talk about that a bit later in the episode. It sounds cool because I've never been to Dubai. I've been to Lisbon, just only the once. So it's beautiful. But what's Dubai like? I've never been.
I say sometimes Dubai is a little bit like a playground for adults, to be honest.
That sounds good.
Because yeah, it's fun. But living here is a little bit different. Yeah, you can do everything basically. What I love in the city is that it's so cosmopolitan. Right. So there's so many nationalities come together in one place, and I like the diversity. I appreciate that. It's also challenging because you have to be much more acceptance on different backgrounds and everything. But this is what it makes it so special, and I really I'm grateful for that experience.
Oh, that does sound cool. And what's the weather like? I know I always mention the weather, but what is the weather like? What's the weather like at the moment?
Now it's great, to be honest. Now it's around 25 during the day, and in the evenings goes a little bit down to 19, 18 degrees, but it's lovely. The winters here are amazing.
It's the winter
summer,
temperatures, yeah. How hot does it get in the summer?
The summer, though, is a little bit harder because it goes up to 48, 50 degrees, and it's really hot.
Wow.
And it's just difficult to be outdoors. I find it quite hard.
Yeah, that's insane temperatures. Oh man,
yeah.
It's everywhere air conditioned then, I guess. Everywhere's air conditioned.
Yeah, and sometimes it's really cold. Actually, here we get sick more in the summer than in the winter because it's a huge difference of temperature between outdoors and then when you go indoors on any shopping mall or everything is just so cold that you have to actually have a jacket inside. So you get more sick because of all these different temperatures.
That's funny, isn't it? Wow, that's bizarre. We don't get that problem in England. It's always just cold. Always just cold, really.
I know. I actually lived not in England. Like I lived in England, but I lived in near Glasgow, so in Scotland. So
oh, did you?
I lived there 1 year, so I know how the weather is.
Yeah, even colder up there in Scotland.
Yeah,
gosh.
and humid and.
What were you doing? What were you doing in Scotland then?
Yeah, when I started my journey as a flight attendant, my first episode was in Ryanair in Scotland. So I went 1 year to work for them. I was based in Prestwick, a small airport. It was a fun adventure, I must say. It was interesting.
Scottish
people are friendly.
They're nice, aren't they? They are nice. A bit of my heritage is Scottish. I think Law, my surname, is a Scottish name. A fact that I'm sure you didn't want to know there. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, you mentioned the flight attendant there, and I've read that on your bio, and it sounds so interesting. You went from being an architect, didn't you, to then flight attendant, and now a documentary photographer. It just sounds so interesting. So yeah, can you tell us, just tell us more about that journey? Sounds great.
Yeah, I think my journey has been climbing mountains and going down the mountains and climbing mountains again, because I think every time you start a new field in your professional life is always like a climb. Yeah, you always do a new climb in your life. Yeah. And I finished my university in architecture, then I worked a few years in Portugal, and it was quite hard to. And I also found a bit disappointing because I chose architecture because I'm creative, right? And then in the end, you see that what you're doing is working in AutoCAD so much, and just in the end, designing the creativity of the others. That is a bit of disappointment in a certain way. Mm-hmm. But I came to being a flight attendant a little bit occasionally. I was doing a lot of extra jobs in hosted in events and things like that. And one time I was looking for more agencies, and there was flight attendant or hostess, air hostess for Ryanair. So I just applied for it. I was applying for so many jobs. I applied for it a little bit for fun, but in the end, they called me straight away. Wow. I did the interview. They called me immediately. They told me that I would start the training, and then I thought a little bit about it. Okay, wow, this is real. Do I really want to do this? But at the time, I kind of have nothing to lose, I was just, I was not really happy in my job, and I was working so much on extra jobs. So I said, why not? And I just took a chance, and I did my training. I went to work 1 year in near Glasgow, and
you went from Portugal to Glasgow. That is, going from such lovely weather to like Scottish weather. That's funny.
That was a bit difficult, I would say, a little bit of challenging, especially because I was very active. I had dance school. I was doing a lot of activities back home, and then Prestwick is really small, right? So all of a sudden, I see myself. I said, "Ooh, what am I going to do here?" But you have a nice team of colleagues, and you just meet new people. And it was also a very interesting. I was going with 2 other Portuguese. We lived together.
That's nice.
It was an interesting experience. Yeah.
Well, what's the training like? Is it quite intensive training to be a flight attendant? Is it?
Yeah. It was already in that time was intense. When I trained to come to Dubai was even more intense. The training here was really a very complete training, I must say. Obviously, the aircrafts that we work in here are much bigger also, so safety emergency procedures have to be a little bit more thorough and everything. I'm not saying that it was not thorough at the time, but the aircrafts are much smaller. In Ryanair. In Ryanair, yeah.
I'm flying with Ryanair in 2 weeks, actually. I'm flying Ryanair.
Yeah? Well, I must say that customer profile was quite challenging in where I was based, but it was a good experience. I enjoyed it, especially with the good thing of working in a smaller airline is that you are flying with your friends. After a while, your colleagues become a little bit your friends. So you have a really nice work environment, because you're constantly flying with the same people.
That's cool. Do you stop over at some of the destinations then and go out partying and things? No. Oh.
There, no, not at all. Not. No. You just go back to back every day. You just go home, which, if you have a family, gives you more stability, right? But when you change your life to become a flight attendant, you definitely want to travel the world, and explore a little bit that side.
Did you work for a few different flight companies then?
Yeah, then I don't know if I can say the name. I think I can. I worked in Emirates here in Dubai. So Actually, I came also a little bit by mistake. My friend wanted to come, and I never thought about coming to the Middle East, to be honest. But she pushed me to go to the open day. And I said, okay, let's go. And then yeah, they make it really nice. Yeah, in the open day, they make it really, oh, wow, maybe I actually want to travel a little bit more in my life.
That's
So,
cool.
and then I passed everything, and then I end up coming, and she didn't. So I end up coming alone.
Oh, right. Wow.
And yeah, it was tough also a little bit because I didn't expect to come alone here. I was expecting always to come with her.
Yeah.
But I also, once more, I had nothing to lose. I said, well, I'm single, I'm alone. Let's just go for it.
That's cool. It's brave. It's
happens.
so brave to do something like that. It really is. Massive respect to you for doing that. It's awesome. So when you
Yeah, but I can.
working for Emirates as well, then,
Sorry.
were you flying to more kind of long haul places? Were you having stopovers then and things?
Yeah, that here was, yeah, we have few flights that are back to back. So few destinations which are closer that you go and come back to the base, but overall you overstay because the flights are long, so you have to have a rest in order to be able to be safe to operate the flights.
Do they always put you up like really near the airport and things?
No, not always. There was now maybe after COVID, I think there's few things that changed, but at the time we were sometimes in the center of the city, which was quite nice.
Cool,
sometimes a little bit closer from the airport. So it really depends. But
right.
yeah.
Do you have a couple of nights or a few nights? Is it time to go out and party, or do you just have to go to bed straight away and then you're working the next day type thing?
So depends. Overall, most of the labors were 24 hours, but it allows you still to do something. Sometimes when the destinations are longer, it was like US flights, for example. They were a little bit longer in some destinations, which stayed 42 because it's also 16 hours flight. So quite intense. Yeah.
Wow,
but yeah, we always manage to do something.
Oh, it sounds so fun. It does sound so fun. God, how many different countries have you kind of been to then?
Oh, I think, so like, I think like, I'm not saying that I was everywhere, but I was pretty much, I touched down in definitely all the continents and,
wow.
Australia, US, India.
So cool.
Asia, so Russia. So yeah, pretty much we travel the world. So obviously you're not always in the same destination. And this is the cool thing about it.
Yeah, totally. Wow, it's so cool. I just find that so interesting. But I guess we should talk about photography. Everyone's tuning in thinking this is not a flight attendant podcast. But that's my fault. I just find it really interesting. But yes, how did you get into
curiosity that people have this curiosity. It's kind of normal. Everybody asks me a little bit about it, so it's normal.
Yeah. So then, how did you go from that then to becoming a documentary photographer?
Yeah, actually, it came together, I must say, because I did 2014. I got married, and then 2015 we did our honeymoon in Namibia. So we were about 1 month traveling in Namibia.
Wow, cool.
And I bought my first DSLR with a lens attached, and without much knowledge in photography at the time, just the curious knowledge, I really enjoy taking photos, and I really love the result, and I was really enjoying myself because it's such a wonderful country. It's the wildlife, it's the landscape, is the cultural the different culture background, everything. So I was completely fascinated by this trip. And I remember talking to my husband, and I said, I think I could do this for my life. I love to photograph, to do photos. And after that, so there was a shift in me. And I said, I think I want to start really documenting my travels. And I want to invest more in photography. So since then, I signed up for Creative Life. So I was doing a lot of online courses in there. In the beginning, more about travel photography, because I thought I wanted to become a travel photographer. That's my dream, and because I was traveling, so it had to do everything with what I was doing at the time. But then life changes, right? I was a mom then, and then I was always away after I became a mom, and I discovered Kirsten Lewis in the Creative Life courses. And obviously I did all her courses and I loved it. And that's when I said, maybe if I would ever photograph families, this is the way I would love to photograph them.
Oh, that's cool.
And my son was the shift, I think, especially because in the beginning I was away.
Oh, yeah, that must have been so tough. That must have been tough.
Yeah, it was challenging, and this is collided with my decision of quitting. Yeah. But he was definitely the main reason why I do what I do today, because I wanted to document every moment with him. Every time I was on ground, I felt the need to create images to not forget, because when you are so much jet lagged and tired, your body is present, but it feels that your mind is just in a stage of foggy, right? So photographing him was giving me that the material thing of I'm here, I'm present, and I will never forget these moments because I'm photographing them.
That's cool.
So
I know you're providing that for other parents and other families as well.
Exactly. And this is why I valorize so much details and small. There's some small gestures sometimes that people not even realize, but I find them so important because one day they will want to remember that little tiny gesture, even if it's a finger just twisting somehow in a different way, because it's important. And one day you want to remember that.
Totally. Well, and that time when you decided to quit your job then and pursuing this, was your partner, was he supportive?
Yeah, I planned my quitting for a while, so it was not a decision that I just made from one day to another, obviously. And he supported me intensively because he saw that I was struggling.
That's cool.
And when I decided to do it full time, I said, okay, I'm not saying that I'm old. I'm not old, but obviously regarding my age and everything, I said, okay, if I'm starting something now again, like kind of from scratch, I have to be assertive and I have to do it for real. So I put myself on a mentoring program with Kirsten, Jenna, and Ashley.
Oh, cool.
And there was a huge shift, and that was amazing. I must say, I owe them very much where I am today, because it was really a huge shift in my mindset and everything.
Oh, that's really cool. I think I just find it so inspirational as well, hearing people's stories of just kind of going for it, realizing that what they're doing at the time. And the same for me when I was doing, a very boring SEO job before becoming a photographer. I was getting so stressed and unhappy, and I just got to go for it. And now my wife she quit her job about 5 weeks ago, so she's only got about 1 week left, and it's really exciting. It's scary, but it's exciting as well.
Yeah, I always say that it's to jump into cold water, and the moment until you jump is hard, right? Because that's when you start making the decision. But when you jump, you have no option. You have to swim.
That's true. That is a good analogy.
And that's really like this. That was pretty much how I felt when after I'm making my decision, I was just like, okay, now I jumped. Now I have to swim no matter what. Yeah. So,
Now that's
since
such a good analogy.
Swimming.
Oh, that's good. Swimming really well as well, because I mean you do so well. Your work is so good, Anna, and you were recently you ranked 25th in the world in the Sabotage Family of 2021, which is such an achievement. So congratulations on that. Was that fun to find out?
Yeah, I think the best part in all this journey, it's been an intensive journey, I must say, since the beginning. And the moment I took this mentoring, it's been not only a photographic journey, but it's been also a very deep inner within myself journey, right? Because one day, Kirsten and Jenna, they said, the uniqueness in you just find within your own story, and your background is what makes you unique and your vision unique. And these words just stick in my brain so intensively. And I just was self-reflecting about my whole story since the beginning, since I started basically my life, right? And I'm trying to find these connecting dots between my previous jobs and everything, and between my photography vision. And it's been intense in this aspect of going deep within myself, but that also shows into the creative part of the process and the work I'm building in photography. And this is what I find really fascinating.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool to hear. And when you decided to really go for it, when you took that plunge into the cold ice bath, as you said, I'm one of those lame people, by the way, who it takes me ages to get into the sea. I'm like gently tipping toe forward and just like, I need to just jump more into it. But yeah, when you made that decision, you did that mentoring as well. How then did you kind of get your first kind of family clients? How did you get your first kind of lot of work?
Yeah, so my business is not long, but it's been going, thank God, quite going well, I must say. And so I quit I make the jump in cold water in February 2020. So really in the middle of a pandemic. I didn't even know that the world would collapse.
No, what timing.
Yeah, I didn't even know that the whole world would stop, right? And all of a sudden was really challenging that time, because I jumped, right? And then all of a sudden I was traveling the world, and from one day to another I was closed within doors with my husband and my son full time.
Right,
I was just like, oh my God, what have I done?
Gosh, a good time to be out of the flight industry, though. Probably a good time to be out.
Yeah. Yes, I think I actually, it was somehow meant to be. I don't know. And in September, then I opened my business, and I got my first clients. And since then, it's been going well. Yeah.
Wow, really good.
2020.
That's really soon. Yeah. That's only about 18 months, isn't it? It's not even 2 years. Wow, that's cool. Yeah. How did you get those first clients?
I was very assertive. I said I need to go for it. Instagram was a good starting point. I must say that here, the moms groups are really good. Cool. It's a good way of publicity. So from time to time, it's good to make a post in the groups of moms, because mainly the clients come from the mother side, right? Mm-hmm. I'm talking about mainly family. So when you show your work and you show what you do in these places, that's already a visit card for having clients. They see it, they like it.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's a way of they at least they get in touch with you, right? It's that first, and then it's word of mouth, right? And the moment you have the first clients recommend you to other clients, right? And then to other clients, and from time to time you keep posting on Instagram, and then you keep posting on these moms groups, and then you have already clients that are already word of mouth. And I also must say that I'm very personal. So sometimes when I'm with my son in the playground, I also connect with people. I also connect with other moms, right? I tell them what I do. If I see interesting family, I approach them. I don't know.
That's so cool. Really? That's so cool.
This kind of thing that I just go there. I said, hi, how are you? And I said, you have such a lovely family. And then I just start talking a little bit about what I do. And I think when you show the passion of what you do and how you do it, I think that kind of shows to others, and people connect with you. And then you give your business card, and then eventually they contact you,
That's so
I
cool.
really believe in personal contact. I'm still a believer on that.
Oh, that is so cool. That is honestly so cool. I just honestly just massive respect for that having the confidence to do that as well. I think a lot of people, probably myself included, would be too scared to do that. But you're really getting the ball rolling. As you say, you've really gone for it. And I have a massive respect for that. I think that is really super cool. And I
always think, sorry. I just say, I always think, what is the worst that can happen? Right?
That's true.
Approaching someone, what is the worst that can happen? They just grab your business card and they throw it in the next bin they have available, right?
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
the worst that can happen to you.
Oh, yeah, you're so right, Anna. You're so right. We should do that more, definitely. I find that so cool to hear, definitely. Yeah, it's awesome. I know someone, a wedding photographer, when he's shooting weddings, he will notice when like guests have like an engagement ring on, and he will go up and talk to them and offer to take their portraits and things, and he gets lots of business from that, I think. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. One you mentioned there about. Oh, sorry, you go on. Yeah, you go.
No, I think people like when you are personal, right? When you show a little bit, because we don't sell only photos, right? We sell ourselves also has personalities. Our personalities, our way of being. It's the experience the client has with you. It's the whole experience that comes with it. It's not only about the photos you take and you deliver to them. It's about the time you spend together. It's about the connection you have with the client. It's all this is. It starts with the first approach, right? And I have a son which he's almost 4 years, so it's in the right age to connect with other families with in the same type of background. So I take this. I'm honest. I take this opportunity and I do it.
No, it's great. Honestly, Anna, it's awesome. It really is. And you get a good sense of you and your personality and the way you work from that video you have on your About page on your website.
Yeah, about me.
Yeah, I think that video is great. You know, it shows you photographing a family with your voiceover talking about it all, and you seem so friendly and approachable on there as well. I think it's really, really good idea. Yeah, can you tell us a bit more? Tell us a bit more about that video? Was it hard to get done? Or did you always think you wanted a video there on the website?
Yeah, I always wanted a video because I felt so. Our documentary family photography is a little bit of it's coming more and more, right? But it's still clients still need to understand how really it is. And here I'm trying to open this door for documentary family photography here, because mainly the families are looking more for lifestyle. That's the genre that it's more because it's candid but still very pretty. And I'm not saying that documentary is not pretty. I mean, but it's real. It's more real. It's more raw, right?
Yeah.
So I always do a little bit of. I always have this work with my clients when they approach me. Did you manage to see my website? I send them the video, in order for them to really understand what is it about and what I want them to connect with my work and with myself. The last thing I want is that a client is looking for a completely different type of work. So I really do this, and I think this video helps me to show them how I work and what my approach is, and they really understand better when I go photograph them. And I wanted it in my website. I was very nervous when I did that shoot. Yeah. But the videographers were great, also super relaxed. They also do documentary photography, but more into portraits and travel photography. And so they were super relaxed. They relaxed me in a certain way. I was very comfortable with the family. I already had photographed them. They are actually now, I'm honest, I photographed them. I met the mother once on a flight. Then I photographed them one time. And the second time, so I was already connecting with them. And now we are friends, actually. Photographing them make us become friends.
Oh, isn't that cool? That is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they in Dubai as well, or are they in Portugal? Family? They're in Dubai, right?
Yeah, they are Portuguese, but they live here. And obviously here, I also believe that you connect more easy because we are all alone here without our families, most of us, right? So it's more easy sometimes to even become closer from other people when you truly connect. And so in the end, it went well. It was.
Did you just approach the videographers with an idea in mind for the video, or did you talk about ideas together for it?
I had clear in mind what I wanted, but obviously I discussed with them and they suggest few things. And so it was, I'm a team player, so I liked working, especially sometimes in the creative process with something that I'm not so comfortable, which is the video. I always like to take their ideas in, and so together we build the final result. But I had very clear what the frames I wanted. That I wanted a little bit in my home, show open also, because I think we have to open a little bit ourselves also a little bit for our clients, right? We ask them to be vulnerable. And if we are not capable of being vulnerable a little bit ourselves and show our lives, then it's just not 100% fair. Like, it's true. Not fair. Maybe this is not the right word, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a little bit, true. You show yourself, and you ask them also to open the doors of their house. So I wanted to open the doors of my house for them. To cool. show a little bit that side of my life. And
that's really interesting to hear from you about that reciprocal openness. Sorry, I'm so bad with words. Reciprocal openness. Ow, what? but you're so right. We do ask clients to be to open themselves to us, and then like I don't really show much of me on my social media, you know, and stuff. I don't show much behind the scenes, so maybe I should do that more, I think.
I don't find it easy, Alan, to be honest. I sometimes struggle. I seem a very extrovert person, but I have a very introvert and kind of even shy side on me. And I don't find it easy. So I have a love and hate relationship with social media. And sometimes, I give you an example. I think we also we artists tend to self-sabotage ourselves. A lot of times, imagine I win an award, right? I'm super happy. I post on my social media, and then my social media for a while, I just kind of boom a little bit. And then imagine like 2 weeks, I'm just quiet. I don't know. I feel that excessive of putting myself out there just gives me at the same time a little bit of a discomfort. And I just like, let me just stay quiet now for a while. And I also feel there is a little bit of a self-sabotage sometimes that we do with ourselves. And I'm constantly working on this, to not allow this feeling to take over. So more and more I'm trying to, I'm going to show a little bit about my life, about myself. I'm going to show more. Yeah. It's a process. I think it's not an end goal. It starts with little steps. And then the more comfortable you are, I think the more you show, I guess.
Oh, that's so interesting to hear, and I totally relate to that as well. And I think a lot of people who are listening to this will totally relate to that as well. Yeah, that self-sabotaging thing, especially. Yeah, definitely. I was blogging a wedding personally in my own photography just a couple of days ago, and it was so. I just found it's so difficult sometimes to look through my work and thinking, is this good? I don't know, you know, and. I don't know. It's all just it's up and down, isn't it, for us all? It really is.
Yes. But that's why I talk a lot with, you interview Marisa Martins, and we are good friends, and we talk a lot. And sometimes when I'm kind of in these moments, I call her. I say, Marisa, let's just have a chat. And it's good to have a friend like this in the photography world, that you can just talk about these things. And
that's really nice.
I think all of us feel the same. All of us have this feeling that you are just describing right now. Yeah. And it's, in a certain way, it's good, because that's what makes us want to work harder and get better and do better in the end. Yeah. If we don't have that, we just, I'm comfortable. I'm doing, my clients are happy with my work. It's fine. Yeah. If you take this approach, then you don't grow, right? You just stay. And so I think this is a good feeling.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's true. We I guess we don't stay complacent then. We do, as you say, we do grow. That's true. It's cool. I'm really enjoying this already, Anna. It's so good. You're such a great speaker already. You're so good. You're so natural. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And that comes across in your video as well, though. And I just love that video. I think it gives such a good sense of you and what you do. And as I say, you look just so friendly and approachable on it, which I think is awesome as well. So I need to do a video. I think I think it would be a fun thing to do as well. Just people to get more of an insight into, as you're saying, the person behind the camera as well, and opening up more. I do always say I need to do things, though, don't I? I always do on these podcasts, and I think I've got my to-do list must be about 20 pages long, I think. Anyway,
I know I have the same. Don't worry.
Okay. Good. That's good. Okay, Anna. Let's change tack slightly. Let's change tack. Do you watch many TV programs or movies?
Oh, I was afraid that you're going there. I'm terrible there. I do watch stuff, yes, but I'm terrible with names. and telling you. So maybe if I want to tell you a name, I tell you, I think this movie that talks about this, but I just never know the names. I'm terrible on that.
Okay, well, that's good. I'll let you off then with that. So you know what's coming there. It's good.
I was just like, the other day, I wanted to say the name of Meryl Streep, and I just described the whole actress, and I couldn't say her name. I just can't. I sometimes I have these kind of blanks in my brain that it just doesn't come out. The name.
That's funny.
I have a problem with names. I don't know. It doesn't work right.
Well, let's see how you get on with this one. You know what's coming then. Yeah, I'm going to say a few kind of synopses, and we'll see if you can get it. And hopefully people enjoy playing along with this at home as well. No, the pressure.
Oh, I'm getting nervous now.
With you talking about Meryl Streep then, because she was in that recent Netflix film, wasn't she? That Don't Look Up. Wasn't she in that? Have you seen that?
I didn't see that yet. It's on my faves list, but we didn't watch it yet.
It's quite interesting. I quite enjoyed it. Actually. I thought it was pretty good. Anyway, okay. Right. So, are you ready for your first one?
Whew, I think I am.
This one is an older movie. Okay, and it might be animated. Just to give you a clue. Okay. Right. So, Belle, a village girl, embarks on a journey to save her father from a creature that has locked him in his dungeon. Eventually, she learns that the creature is an enchanted prince who has been cursed.
The Belle and the Monster, no?
Oh, yes. Well, yes, that's a different... Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Is a different name
for it. Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
Awesome. Boom. That is good. Straight in there, Anna. That is good.
First is gone.
I love that, by the way. I think that's my favourite Disney film. I think it's my favourite Disney film.
Yeah. I used to watch. I love Disney films. I always cry. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm very sentimental.
They are emotional, though. They are emotional.
I am super emotional. I always cry.
One of the saddest bits of any Disney or Pixar films. Have you seen Up? Do you know Up, that Pixar film? With the balloons, where the house goes carried away on loads of balloons. No, okay. But the first 5 minutes of that is incredibly emotional.
That one is with I know. I didn't see the movie, but I see some scenes of that movie, and they are super emotional. It's with very funny characters. They wear glasses, right?
The old guy does. Yeah.
The old guy. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, but I didn't watch the full movie. No, just few bits of it. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, okay. So we've got Beauty and the Beast. That's great. The main character is called Belle, and my daughter's called Bella. So we partly named our daughter after Belle in Beauty and the Beast. I thought she's very cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, another fact that people have no interest in. It's funny. Okay, this next one.
I love that name, actually.
It is lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Lovely.
Belle, Isabella. I find it beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so second one. This one is a much more recent series. Okay, much more recent. Like it came out very recently. Okay, so. A wildly talented high school girls soccer team becomes the unlucky survivors of a plane crash deep in the Canadian wilderness.
I don't think I watched that movie, but I heard about it.
Yeah, it's a series. It just came out, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I think, or a couple of months maybe. Not sure.
That one I'm gonna fail.
Oh, well, don't worry. That is called. It's called Yellow Jackets.
But I find it interesting if it's on a plane crash. I should watch.
Oh yes, oh yeah. I did. I wonder if I picked that subconsciously because. Oh yeah, I guess. Did you?
Can you believe?
You must have experienced some. Oh, sorry. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was watching sometimes when I was a flight attendant. I was watching sometimes a documentary about plane crashes, and I said to my husband, "I don't know if I should be watching this."
No,
but
gosh.
I kind of like it because I had all these emergency and safety procedures in my brain. It kind of gave me more awareness, even, so I kind of liked to watch it at the time. Wow. So it was a bit crazy, though.
That is a little bit. Yeah, I guess you must have dealt with some passengers who are very afraid of flying. Did you have that? Do you experience dealing with them? Yeah.
Few, not a lot, but yes, a few. I had one lady once almost spending the whole flight in the we call it galley, the kitchen in the plane. We call it the galley. So she spent almost the whole flight in there talking, just because she was really, and we were helping her to get distracted and talking to her. So the seatbelt sign was off, so we could have her there a little bit, just to be more reassured that everything was fine. So cool. I had a few.
How many flights do you think you've? Sorry, going back. It's so funny going back to the flight attendant thing, but it's so interesting. How many flights do you know? How many flights you've taken in your life?
Actually, I didn't. I never count them. I know I put it on my website around 8,000. I think 8,000 hours or something like that. I put on my website in About Me. I have there because we don't receive a count on the flights, but we receive a count on the amount of hours that we were in the air.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I think I have that on my About Me. I cannot record now by heart, but it's a lot of hours.
That is a lot of hours in the air. Wow, that's amazing. That's cool. Okay, right. Let's go back to Netflix. Okay. Final one, Anna. Final one. This one again is very recent, and it's been spoken about quite a bit on social media at the moment. This is a clue. Okay, so it's a Netflix series. Okay, the synopsis is: posing as a wealthy, jet-setting diamond mogul, he wooed women online. Okay,
I watched yesterday.
Oh, did you? What is it?
The Tinder smuggler.
Yeah, that's
something.
Yeah, the Tinder swindler. That's it. Oh, nice, cool. I've not seen it. Is it interesting? Oh,
I was really shocked about how he managed to woo. Wow. His level of lack of values is incredible. Wow.
Okay.
You really have to have absolutely no empathy, zero empathy for people in order to be capable of doing such thing. It's just I think he's a completely blank person. These persons that just don't feel and just completely also basic. I think he's just a person that completely is amazed by material goods, and that's the only thing that matters for him. So it was interesting though. I like to watch it. It was an interesting watch, but
I'll have to check it out. Well, I wonder if subconsciously, because in the synopsis for that, it was jet setting, and the other one had the plane crash in that I asked you. I wonder if, because I knew about you as a flight attendant, I wonder if that's why I chose those ones. That's weird.
Yeah, maybe. But it's okay. I didn't do so bad. I got 2 out of 3 is
good. That's really good, Anna. Honestly, that is really, really good. So, congrats. That was good. I enjoyed that. It's fun. What are you watching anything good at the moment?
Well, to be honest, we sometimes watch a movie. Sometimes because it depends on the time of my son goes bed and the time we want to go bed. And because usually we watch a little bit more in the evenings. We are watching one, actually, there's something that I really like, is about traveling. I don't know the name, but it's a series that it's 3 persons, and they travel the world and then they stay into different locations. So one of them gets a luxurious hotel, a luxurious place. Mm-hmm. The other one gets a unique place, and the other one gets a low budget place.
Oh, that does sound really interesting, actually.
And it's actually, I just don't know the name, but it's really interesting. I really like, because I feel that I travel a little bit with them, and some of the places are really the experiences they have. So one of the last episodes was about they chose places that give you also a food experience. Okay. So, and then they have the one that is the luxurious, and they have the one that is unique, and then they have the one that is low budget, and they show the different places they travel and they stay. It's a lot of Airbnbs, and we have no idea how amazing places sometimes there is on Airbnb, that it's not the biggest chain hotels, right? It's just really like unique houses that people have, and they give you these unique experiences. So, and we are a lot Airbnb travelers. So I think it's the most amazing vacation rentals. I think it's the name.
Oh, okay.
Most amazing vacation rentals.
That is a cool recommendation. Okay, that sounds good. I like that kind of thing. I went through a stage a few months ago of watching travel videos on YouTube. There are just so many YouTube travel vloggers, and they're just so good, so interesting. I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's really good fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I miss traveling lately. Now I'm going back a little bit on travels because the world is open up again a little bit. But for me, that's completely stopped was a huge change, and I miss it. So somehow watching this, it gives me a little bit a sense of traveling.
Yeah, vicarious traveling. I get that. I get that. Do you go back to Portugal much?
Yeah, I tried to go. I'm going now in March. Nice. I'm going now to visit my mom. Unfortunately, she's not doing very well. So I'm going to see her, and then in June I intend to go again and stay maybe a little bit longer. We do a longer holiday, just running away from the heat here. Right, okay. So we tend to go always to go to Europe in the summer here because it's nice there.
Yes, a bit more temperate. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool, Anna. Let's go back to your photography as well. And one of your specific Reportage Family Awards that I really love, and I think it was one of the first ones you won from us, is of a child in what looks to be in a paddling pool, I think, and they're tipping a white bowl of water over themselves. You know the one I mean?
Yeah. It was one of my first awards, actually.
Yes, it was, isn't it? Yeah, and you've captured it with this is a brilliant symmetry and like the converging lines of the paddling pool and the bowl. It's such a great graphic image. Can you tell us a bit more about that shot? Do you remember taking it?
Sure, of course. It was in the summer of 2020, actually, that I think I took this shot, if I'm remembering correctly. And we were having a nice lunch we have a kind of a country house in Portugal. So we were just having a nice lunch outside. The kids were just all over the place. And there was, we don't have a swimming pool. So we had just this small pond pool, kind of. And the kids were just having so much fun. And when kids are having fun, Anna is running after with the camera because I just enjoy it. And I was just with my camera, and I see her just having a blast, filling up this bucket of water and just throwing over herself and filling up again and throwing again. It's just like, oh, she's having a blast there. So I just put my camera up because I found it was really the best angle to take a little bit that movement and kind of her feeling of, oh, this is so cool, so refreshing it is. And and then I just try to, because obviously the blue from this kind of this small swimming pool for kids. This blue for me is a little bit like, that blue, what am I going to do with it? So it's trying to think a little bit outside the box in the moment, right? And to make it work nicely. And that's what I try to do. And it worked.
Oh,
I really like that shot also.
I love that shot. Yeah, it's such a cool graphic image. I love the colors in it. But I just love that composition, the symmetry. And as I say, the converging lines, the bowl perfectly lines up with like where the paddling pool would converge as well. It just brings your eyes right to it. It's, super cool. Cool. I love that. Yeah. Thank you for talking about that. I really enjoy that.
I think a lot of times is about because I think in our style of photography we are constantly facing challenges, right? We are always problem solving, correct? And a lot of times it's about problem solving, and but this is what I love about it, because it's challenging, because it's not the same. It gives you this challenge all the time to deal with frustration a lot of times. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? And you have to say, when it's not working, you have to find other ways in order to make it work, especially when it's client work, right? We have to be sure that, okay, I have to make it work. How am I going to do that? And constantly question yourself. What is the best way of seeing what is happening in front of us? And what is the best way to translate this moment, and what are my downsides? In this case, for me, was a little bit that blue that was huge, right? If I would put too much of this blue, then the whole image would go for the blue and not so much for the action itself. So it's constantly problem solving, I find, but I love that in a certain way.
That's really cool. Yeah, really cool to hear you talking about that. And I'll talk about but you mentioned about problem solving there in a second. But I just want to say to people, if you're listening, do head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com. I'll include that Reportage Family Award that Anna just spoke about. Yeah, and kind of actually linked to what you just said there is I found this quote from you on your Instagram, which I really like. I just really like, by the way. So I'm just going to say it.
Thank you.
I think it's great. It's quite a long quote, but I'm just going to say it anyway. So, and you said, what drives me the most in the documentary approach is so many times the lack of control. That's exactly what makes me be switched on at all times, because what I am really hunting are the most unpredictable, unexpected, random and non-controlled situations and moments. Those are my photos and the ones I love the most. And yeah, and I just think that is such a good quote. I love that. I totally agree. I love that kind of total lack of control too, and the unexpected, the unpredictable. So it's not really a question. I just think that's such a cool quote. It's funny though, isn't it, Alpha? A lot of
it was people, very honest. Those words are very honest. I'm very honest on my. That's why I don't post so much. Sometimes I just don't feel. When I write, I like to write it from the heart, right? So it has to come from inside. And sometimes I just don't feel like, and this is when I'm a little bit more quiet. And that's my struggle. I need to find this balance between sometimes coming from the heart and at the same time posting more often, right?
Well, but I think that's what gives you your authenticity and integrity, though. I mean, a lot of people do just post things, probably myself included, just post things on Instagram because we should, in inverted commas, and then maybe the heart isn't in it. But you're staying totally true to yourself, and that comes across in your words. So I think that's more important than just posting things every day. The regularness. That's not even a word, Alan. Man, I need to just. I can't believe I actually went to university and studied English. You would be shocked, wouldn't you? Shocked. But that quote there about loving the kind of lack of control. It's funny, isn't it? Because for a lot of people in life, they want to be in control. But I think as documentary photographers, we have to embrace not being in control, don't we? We have to love that. We have to love that element.
And I do love that. And the more I do, the more I love that. And I think in my previous job, I was much controlled, right? I had to smile. I had to have my grooming. I had to always be up to standard, correct? Mm-hmm. And I think the moment I broke through, I embrace my creative part. I just want to break rules. I just want to. I cut my hair. I just want to feel free, to bring this freedom out of me. And you see that in my the more I observe my work and also self-reflect on it, the more I see that. I have also this photo from the flowing hair, right? I love flowing hairs. I just love them. I'm attracted by them because it gives me this sense of freedom. I love when I lower my shutter speed because I feel them. I'm there with them. I feel that movement with them, right? And that movement, if it gives me just a tiny sense of freedom, I love it. And I just enjoy photographing these moments. And this is all about letting off control and lowering your shutter speed and just work through it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not guaranteed, right? That I'm going to have the shot I want, because it's not easy to do sometimes to work with such lower shutter speed. But at least I give it a try because that's how I'm feeling that moment in that specific situation, right? Mm-hmm. So I try to embrace it and not be afraid of it, even though sometimes I do. So cool. It's a little bit always going out of your comfort zone, right? That's what works best.
Yeah, that's what pushes us. And I totally agree. I love that. It's so cool. I'm just sitting here nodding. You can't see me, but I'm just nodding and smiling. You speak so well. It's really cool, Anna. It's cool.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, you're very welcome. You're so cool. So, Anna, can you talk us through, maybe let's go a bit more into nitty gritty of kind of how you work? I think people would be interested in that. Could you talk us through what a typical family shoot looks like for you? Maybe from the beginning, if you do any kind of prep work, if you do any of that, or, from starting the session, arriving at their home or wherever you do your shoots, what equipment you use, just a general overview of how you work.
Sure. So I've been adjusting a few things with time, and right now I'm working. I have a client management program which I'm completely in love. I don't know if I can say the name, but I'm really happy
You
with
can. That's
it.
totally fine.
Yeah, it's I'm using Sprout Studio, and it's absolutely amazing because it's everything organized in one place. So I have the contracts, I have, so the moment the client, so it's directly connected with my website. The moment the client comes to me, it goes directly into Sprout Studio. They become already a kind of a potential client there.
That's
right?
Cool. Mm.
And so I have all my emails, you create your base emails, and then obviously I adjust, because I said to you before, I'm very personal. So I like to be personal in every request. So there's always a few adjustments that I do in every email, but obviously I have a base email that I have.
Sure.
And that's when I give my prices. And then if they want to go ahead, usually I have a Zoom call with them, with most of them. If it's a full day, sometimes I offer myself also to do a presential meeting with them.
Okay.
And for me, this is the first, it's like when you want to, in the wedding photography, when you do the engagement shoot, right? It's that first connection with the family. I find it important because I'm so personal. For me, it's very important. It's to build that first connection. I like to arrive at my shoot and know all the names, the people who I'm photographing, who are they, and just a little. I don't ask many questions, but I just want to break the ice before the shoot. That's how I like it. And either I do it through a Zoom, or if it's a smaller session, usually through Zoom. If it's a full day in life, then I do it sometimes even presential with the client.
Right, sure, cool. And, never on Skype, is it? It's never on Skype.
Never. Yeah, right. Because most of my clients are from here, so they also don't have Skype.
Yeah, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah, funny.
So yeah, that's why I use Zoom.
Yeah.
And then I arrive in the day. I usually arrive early because I also like, to prepare my gear, interact a little bit. It's not that I arrive and I start shooting. Here, my camera. Here's me, right? When I'm outdoors, I'm usually with 2 cameras. I'm usually with, and I use the Canon EOS R. Oh, nice. And when I'm outdoors, I'm usually with the 35 millimeters, and I'm with an 85. When I'm indoors, usually I'm mainly with my 35. That's what I use indoors. Sometimes if I take my 24 with me, and if the house is too small, or I see that I have too many narrow places, then I take out my 24 and I work with my 24. But because it does a little bit of distortion, overall I stick to my 35 indoors.
Right. Okay.
And then we go through. Then I connect. I talk with them. It's not that I'm there just observing them, just sitting there. Here I am, hidden, and trying to peek all the photos. Yeah, I talk to them. I interact with them. I like to get to know them. This is, my previous job. I was always about interaction, connection, talking to people, getting to know a little bit them. And in this, I bring a lot from my previous job into my photography job, to be honest. Yes. So we talked a lot about my previous job, but I bring a lot of things that I learned and skills that I learned there. I tend to bring a lot in my new, in my photography and in my approach to clients, in the way I connect with them. Yeah, I bring a lot of that. I'm genuine. I'm honest with them. I ask honest questions, and it always gives a very comfortable. I feel very comfortable, and I feel that they feel very comfortable, and they tell me, this is the feedback they tell me in the end, and this makes me really happy.
Oh, that's really nice. And I can feel that. I can feel like, you would be someone who I would love to capture my family, because I just get that just great sense that you're so lovely, and you'd just be lovely to have around photographing us, and I could be natural. And you get that sense from talking to you. So I think that's really cool.
I recently photographed Agatha, the family of Agatha. They came on holidays to Dubai.
Oh, cool.
So
From the TIR
yeah, you
member.
just need
Oh,
to,
yeah. From yes.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't want to say her surname
She,
because I don't think I'd be able to pronounce her surname properly again.
yeah, I know. Yeah, her surname is not the easiest. So,
No.
but in the beginning, when she approached me, I didn't know that she was our colleague, and just afterwards, I knew. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm nervous now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm photographing her. Yeah, right. You feel more responsibility when you're photographing a colleague, right?
I
It's
bet.
just
Yes,
even
definitely.
more.
Oh,
And,
that must be fun. Was
but
that over in Dubai? Was it then? Yeah.
yeah, it was in Dubai. She came here on holiday, so I did a day on holidays with her,
Oh,
and
nice.
it was amazing. I had a lot of fun, and I think they also had. It was really nice to get to know her. Also, we also talk a lot about photography. We also talk a lot about my previous job, everything.
Yeah.
So it was really nice.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really nice. When was that then? Was that
Yeah.
quite recent, or when was that?
Was December. So it was in December that they were here, and so it was in December that we were together. It was actually really nice.
That's cool. Oh, I want to see the images.
Yeah, I have already a few in the portal in the tier. I already have a few there.
Oh, super. I wonder if I'll recognize her then. Oh, that's cool. Because I've not met her in the flesh. I've only spoke to her on that podcast interview, actually.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
She's really nice. Her family is also lovely, and her kids are amazing. They are super to photograph.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
It was so funny. They are really nice.
And how do you deliver the images to your clients? You know, that's something I've not actually don't generally speak about much on the podcast actually, but everyone has their different system of how they deliver their end products. So how do you do it?
I do it through the same. So in Sprout Studio, the clients have a portal. So they have, the moment they become my clients, they have a portal where everything is handled through there. So the contracts, invoices, everything is through there. Yeah. And then the galleries also will appear there. So I create the gallery and I put in the gallery the high resolution. And then that's how they have access to it. And they see it. So yeah, and then I am not the best still in the in-person sales, to be honest. Yeah. But I'm trying to get that part also in place. Right. Okay. And this Sprout is also amazing in order to organize that. What I'm trying more and more is to check my workflow. And trying to, because I want also to dedicate myself more into personal projects because they really satisfy me and it gives me a lot of pleasure to work on personal projects. And I want to dedicate more myself on that. So I'm trying to bring my workflow, the things that I can make it a little bit more easy in order to have a more fluent, I don't know if this is the right word in English, sorry, but more fluent workflow, that I'm doing everything possible and impossible in order to bring that in place. Because as you say, I have to-do lists that are endless. I still like sometimes to do, it's not because I have my clients, I like sometimes to do some portfolio shoots because I think you are more relaxed sometimes and it's nice to still be free to just be creative and not be worried about the client that is paying you, right? Just that's so true. Completely be so free that you can just try new things, even if you want to, right? So from time to time, I still like to do this. Usually I do it with friends. They are happy and I have fun. But I want to dedicate myself also on some personal projects, which I've been working mainly on the mentoring programs I've been in, but I want to do it also for myself because it really helps me. It's my creative part. Let's put it this way.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. And it sounds like that Sprout Studio is a good thing in like really nailing your workflow. Then it sounds a good thing. Yeah,
I'm still getting a hold on it, to be honest, because it's really, there's a lot that you can actually do in there. And they have videos and everything. I'm still slowly getting a hold on it. But I must say that I'm completely a big fan of it. I've just enjoying it.
Sounds good how it integrates with your website as well, right from the beginning.
Yeah, for me, it's worth the investment, because the amount of time it saves me in so many tasks. Because investment, sometimes in certain things, we have also to think how much time I have saved to have this. Okay, so you invest because obviously it's a program that you have to pay a fee, right? But if it saves you time, you have to balance your hourly rates, right? And you have to think maybe it's worth it, because then I have more free time. And I personally, the part that I less like on our job is definitely this business managing part, which is contracts, invoices, answering emails, and all this part, which is, it's not the creative part, but we have to do it, right? It's part of what we do. And if I can have something that really makes my life easier on this, then yes, please.
Yeah, no, I totally
find
get
it
that.
worth it.
Yeah, that's just great life advice, I think, because time is, well, I'm going to say such a cliche, but it is the most precious thing, isn't it? And you just, and I'm realizing that more as well as time goes by and I get older and older. I've got so much more grey hair now. I really do. It's like the other day, I've a few, oh no, I was going to say, no, I might as well say it. Yeah, but a few grey nasal hairs. That is like freaky, shouldn't have.
That's charming. You should know by now that grey hair is charming.
It's funny.
Embrace it. I tell my husband, just let it grow, your grey hair. It looks perfect on you, no problem.
I can't even grow it though as well. I'm virtually bald, and the only hair that I do have is grey. So yeah. Oh well.
Still charming. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, this is why it's good. This podcast is audio only. You can't see it. Anna, awesome. It's been. I just looked down. We're over an hour, and that's really has flown by. Oh, look, another flight attendant thing in there. Flown by. When you do your family shoots, by the way, do you tell them about your former job? Do they bombard you with questions like I have bombarded?
Well, I already, because Dubai is big and small at the same time, right?
Okay.
Flight attendants here are quite immense, big community, right? So I already photograph ex-colleagues. When I say that my previous job is, I was also.
Oh, really?
and we already have that connecting point. I do a lot of birthday parties here also, because I think people associate sometimes documentary photography a little bit more with the candid moments on birthday parties. So I'm requested to do a lot of them. And I already did a lot of I worked with some ex-colleagues that I just discovered then when I talked to them. Obviously.
Oh, that's funny. Small world. That's funny. Yeah. So Anna, okay, we've just got time for one last question then, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So we're going to ask, what would be your top tip or top tips to help someone become better at the documentary side of family photography? It's just just anything that you think could really help them get better at the documentary side.
I listen to your podcast, and I could say the same as many of my colleagues, but for me, one thing that it's really a key point is resilience. Yeah, I think being resilient in how you work is really a key thing, because it's the keep on trying that it's going to make you better. It's the never giving up. It's the, no matter if you win an award or not, no matter if you fail one time, 2, 3, keep on trying, and eventually you will get there, right? And if you give up, you will never know. Right. And it's the resilience that you have, the persistency on pursuing what you believe, and that inner voice that you have inside you that will make you be better and work better and improving your skill. This is what I truly believe. And I have my moments also, but when I have those moments, I keep on thinking on it. And I said, okay, I will keep on trying. I will get there. And then when you get there, you want to get to another place, you know what I'm saying? But it's good. It's a good thing, and it's not a competition thing or anything. It's you within yourself, with your inner voice, bringing it out. And there's many people that start photography and then they give up because they say, oh, I cannot get clients. Oh, I cannot, keep on trying. Do not give up. If you believe in it, if you really love, that's what is your passion, keep on trying. Never give up.
I think that's super advice, Anna. Really. Yeah, really, really great. Really great. Oh, awesome. The whole thing's been great. I've so enjoyed talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It was really a pleasure. And I'm
Oh.
so relaxed right now. I was a little bit nervous in the beginning, I would say, but I'm so relaxed now. You are such a pleasure to talk to.
Oh, you really were. You really were. Really enjoyed that, Anna. And that really did fly by. And I'm not purposely putting another flying joke there. It really did. It really did fly by. And I just really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for coming on, being so open, so honest. Loved it. Yeah,
thank you so much, Ellen, for the invitation.
Oh, thank you for accepting it. And hopefully I will get to meet you at some point. That would be awesome one day. That would be really cool.
Yeah, maybe next year on the Christmas event. I would love to join one day. I really want to one day try to go. So let's see if it's next year. If not, then maybe eventually on another event. Let's see.
Yeah, that would be super cool, Anna. It really would. It would. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking to me. And I'll see you. Well, maybe see you at some point. But yeah, thanks so much, Anna.
Yeah. Thank you, Ellen. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. You've been listening to the 104th episode of the This is Reportage podcast. Love talking to Anna. Hope you enjoyed listening too. Head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com for a link through to her website and to see the specific Reportage Family Awards you spoke about on the episode too. We now have 104 episodes of the podcast available where we speak to family and wedding photographers from all over the world, delve into our back catalogue to hear from the likes of Lisa Hu Chen, Rowena Meadows, Christian Levin, Alison Bounce, Emma Collins, Alice Chapman, Frank Boutonnet, Adam Johnson, Richard Skins, Sanna de Block, Elke van Rulo, Walter Antunes, The Framers, and many, many more. If you're not a member of this Reportage or this Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more. Submissions are open now for our next award collections. We have 6 award collections per year, so every 2 months. The deadline to submit is the same for both our wedding site and our family site. Submit by 23:59 GMT on the 24th of March 2022. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.